alcohol, you have like a bunch of fucking Bud Lights. You go home, your wife made some tuna casserole, and boom, hit her over the head with a golf trophy. You know what I mean? That's why alcohol is like one of the worst drugs. Cause golf trophy and tuna casserole with alcohol, not a good combo.
Perfect. Let's roll an intro. All right,
Put me
what's
up on the
good?
plate.
Welcome to the 5th episode of the 888 podcast. I'm here with my friend Calvin from New York. How you doing, bud?
Hello. Am I too close to the camera? I'm on my phone. I'm in an apartment with no couch right now.
Right? No couch.
No fucking couch. All the furniture stores up here. The next restock comes in about 2.5 months. So I am pacing around my apartment with my computer or laptop that's bricked. I put it on backwards because I'm an idiot. And as you can see, I have the Surface Pro Red Ring of Death. And it's a complete hardware failure. All of my child porn is on there. I mean, my computer files are on there, and never gonna get them back. How are you, Ian?
I'm good, man. All right. Just riding high. So, let's talk. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
What you been up to? Living without a couch. How did that happen? How did you get a house, but you didn't get a couch? How do you have one thing but not the other? Come on, G.
Okay, so on a philosophical note, right? A house is complete without a couch, okay? You still can lay your head there, and you could put a yoga mat on the floor, call that a couch, a minimalist couch, right? But the way I got into this situation is last year, before this whole pandemic shit, I was looking for a house, right? And I will tell you, I'm at upstate New York, Binghamton University, right? This area, all the houses are just crack shacks. Like, I'm pretty sure the landlord just scoops up like, yes, this is a known meth lab, kind of just Lysols the place and then sells it to students. Like there's, like I was promised a newly renovated house, right, for $600 a month. Newly renovated, it's like 7 bedrooms, like 3 bathrooms. When our asses got there, the top floor was not level. The entire floor was like, the skate parks. I could tell where the beams are because the rest of the floor sagged in, and I would get vertigo. So
That
I was
sucks.
like, that's the good part.
Yeah.
The second floor is the good part. Oh, wait till I get to the basement. So on the first floor, right, I'm living with 6 other guys, and just last weekend, I went in and like, we have a room, and I think you could paint the picture when I tell you its name. Its name is the R. Kelly room. It's just the R. Kelly room. It's a section of the house where the walls are dirt. So the walls are dirt. There's a barred window, like a prison cell window. It looks into the driveway, and it's like patched up. Like it's boarded up. So like whatever poor man lived in there or woman, God forbid, like like we dug around there and we found some econ like 365 notes. So some poor fellow did his homework there while being stranded there. And there was a sewage leak in there too. So
it's a bummer.
Yeah, and the I think the overall worst part of the entire house is the basement, because if you look down there, there's a science room, if I can call it that lightly. It's a meth lab. It's like there's no way to look around it. There's a toilet that's like discolored and corroded. Like, how do you corrode ceramic? How do you corrode? how do you melt ceramic? Right? It's like there's like Bunsen burners, like those science lab Bunsen burner things that you attach to.
Yeah.
They have that. Huge shelves for like chemicals.
Gas setups.
It's like an entire actual meth lab right there. And we were promised a newly renovated room, and they said they were gonna rip that shit out. And they basically just gave the whole place a new set of paint.
Can we see it?
So, I mean, you're gonna have to edit this in, like just like put it in at the end of the video, just like the extra footage. I'll take you on a house tour, like probably like honestly tomorrow, right? But yeah, I said fuck this shit. My room smells like sewage. I'm out of here. And so by this time, right? So student housing is like it's like this, because all the good non-crack shack places taken, gone in an instant. And so the only ones left were ultra crack shacks and like luxury housing for like real people. So I looked at my tuition. It's like our tuition's like just for the education part. It's like $3K for us.
Right.
The dorming is like $10K for a year, right?
Bro, it's way too much.
I know, right? So I'm just like, okay, like I think I could do something with this. So I decided, yeah, like I'm just gonna get one of the better apartments here, and it doesn't come furnished. So I was like, oh, no problem. Like we'll just hit up one of the furniture stores. Like the couch I wanted comes restocked in like 6 to 8 weeks.
So what do you have? Like you got a bed and shit at least.
I ordered that shit from Amazon. Like,
why didn't you order the couch from Amazon, dude?
dude, the couches on Amazon, like I look at the reviews, they're either 5-star or 1-star.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of rings like you know what I mean? And also it's like, if I'm like my bed's like, it's okay to have like a cheap bed frame, but a decent bed, right?
Right.
The couch itself, like I'm trying to look for a couch that can fill this area, and if I'm paying, that amount of money, like, and the difference between a decent couch and a good couch is only like 150, like I want to get it right the first time.
You understood.
So
You understand. You're making long-term investments when you buy this furniture.
I know. Like, and the thing is that my house is also getting renovated back home. So like, my room now is like, since my sister doesn't live at my house anymore, they're fucking knocking down the walls. So I have like double the space. Like I have like a loft size room. So like I need a couch, you know what I mean? Anyways, and the
Yeah.
shipping from upstate to downstate, it's only technically like 3 hours, right? The shipping is like a little bit like I think give or take like 100.
Yeah, but you just strap it to your car or something.
See,
like,
I was thinking about that. But like that's some Looney Tune shit.
That's some Looney Tune shit.
That's some Looney Tune shit.
Yeah.
I'll just work an extra like I don't know. I'm gonna work like an extra 6 hours overtime or something to get that $100. You know what I mean? Like if I'm enjoying the couch for like a year, basically, like I think I can scrap together some bits and pieces to ship it back downstate.
Yeah.
And especially like even if I keep it up here and like say I want another housing somewhere near here, I could just pay for a U-Haul for like 3 months. It's like the U-Haul rates are like really not that bad, especially if you split with somebody. There's like always heads that need storage, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's all in the fees, dude.
Yeah.
It's all in the.
It's like I did the couch. What's up?
They charge you to use their dolly. Shit, it comes in the truck ready to use if you need it, but they charge it you after.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm talking about just like shoving it in like a small U-Haul storage thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's really not that bad. It's like especially if you split with people. Like the act of actually moving it is like you kind of just need to load up one of their complimentary like trailers and that's it. Yeah, what's up? Cut the podcast. Cut the podcast. And resume. All right. All right. You gotta now this is your time to shine in iMovies. You gotta cut this part out. You gotta cut this part out or the audience will know this is low budget.
What?
What? What's up?
What?
You gotta cut this part out. You have to cut this part out. I know you don't like editing, but now I'm calling it, audience. Unsubscribe. I'm the sober one here. What the fuck is going on?
All right. That was a little hard to follow. Okay. So, let's talk about how. Where do you work?
What's up?
Where do you work?
I work, well, due to like, you know, college and all this shit, usually I take up a summer job at urgent care, make my money there, and then during the school semester, I usually just do like a website, like managing, designing, you know, like Zoomer Boomer shit, like, you know, the things that boomers can't do. I kind of just do them. It's basically just like managing a Squarespace website and changing pictures around, right? And they give me like a justified allowance that's not taxable. But other than that, yeah, like I'm trying to start up like a Shopify kind of thing. Like my passion outside of everything I do is like indoor gardening, but I'm extremely allergic to mosquitoes. Like I don't know if you've watched Jumanji, like the new one with The Rock. Who was it? It was like the pilot guy, right? He got bit by one mosquito, fucking like almost died. That's
I
me.
haven't seen the movie.
Oh shit. Okay, well, audience members, if you've seen the movie,
It's reference that's utterly lost on me. Leave a like on the video if you saw Jumanji with The Rock.
Yo,
leave a like and hit subscribe if you did, or if you also did not see this movie.
If y'all saw Jumanji, Leave a Pog Champ in chat.
Is this a Twitch stream?
I don't know what's going on. But yeah, like the moment I get bit by a mosquito, it's like I instantly die. So I've just kind of been taking up indoor gardening recently. So I'm realized that there's almost like no concrete instruction for like anything. And I'm basically making a guide plus like if you want this shit, you can just put it in your cart and check out and I get a cut from it.
Right.
Yeah.
You're just making packages for people.
Yeah, it's like the drop shipping thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cuz like a lot of the things here it's just a lot of in like the gym there's like bro like you gotta grunt on the top of your curl for extra gains. Those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of that applies to surprisingly the gardening community of all things. Like there's just so much bro science. It's just like, dude, like do this and like it'll increase like your penis size by like 5 million. Like trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro. It works. Trust me, G.
Trust me, bro. Trust me, G. I like it cooked, G.
Especially after you take my penis pills. Fucking A.
Like it's like the fitness people right now. It's just like, my name is Michael Hearn and I'm a bodybuilder. Take my penis enhancing drugs.
Well, all right. I don't know how we got from your job to penis enhancing drugs, dude.
I could tell you a real easy way, but yeah.
Yeah, you. All right. So what are you like doing for fun right now?
Well, right now I'm kind of just chilling. Like I've taken up a little bit of boxing. You and me, we used to go rowing, but I can't really find 5 other guys in spandex that can wake up like at a reasonable time to go row. So that's out of the question.
You joined the team.
Dude, the team practices at 6 a.m.
Join the rec team, dude.
The what?
The rec team.
No, that is the rec team.
Join the club.
That is the club. That's like the only thing rowing at Bing.
Dude, that sucks. It was the same way at KU. It's the same reason why I didn't row at KU.
Dude, really? Yo, what the fuck is up with rowing clubs and waking up at 6 a.m.? Like, can't you just make it 7 at least?
Like, it's like, oh, we gotta do this before class, before the day gets started. It's like, first of all, nah. Like, like I could appreciate like a toke before a row. You know what I mean?
Token stroke.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
just extra.
It really is. You know, let's talk about that culture around rowing specifically, because
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people don't like get to interact with it because it's like high, I guess, viewed as high society kind of in a way, like because it's
Definitely.
What did you see on our team, and what did you see on every team? You saw a bunch of fucking white kids, and some scrawny kids of other races, but
yeah.
You never saw big ones unless they were like white kids, because that's like the majority at every school in America, right?
Yeah, exactly.
In the majority of like schools, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just have a lot of white kids. That's the point out. That's not a point. Losing myself in my words, lost in the sauce. Well, yeah, let's talk about it, because it's just what was it like for you, kind of like being on that team, having that experience, like.
Oh yeah, I could definitely tell you. It's are you talking about like Manhasset specifically?
Sure. I mean, what is it? My parents used it as a way for me to like have and maintain social bonds
Mm-hmm.
because it was like something that they could maintain.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, tell me about
Yeah.
like what you got out of it.
I mean, yeah, I mean like rowing, um, I'll say a bit about before I joined rowing. Like I was on that wrestling grind, you know. I basically switched from one spandex sport to the next spandex sport, and then like I was just did it mostly because I felt like all of my friends, like my core group of friends, they all did rowing, like all of them, and I felt like me doing wrestling, like I mean, there's like I don't know if you remember Jared Godino. I don't think you've ever met him, but like he's not much of like a talker, and like he was like varsity and shit, and I was like, you know what, like this is kind of whack. Like I don't like this constantly fearing MRSA and getting like the shit beaten out of me and me beating the shit out of other people and getting booed off the stage once for winning. I have to say though about the white point, just like because we were in Long Island, like I feel like if you go to any other like non
Well,
like NASCAR,
it's a white dominated sport. It
it,
usually take like the schools and clubs that take place in them of them are usually in uh, more like white uh, dense areas.
yeah.
Like
Well, I mean, like I was mostly talking about wrestling though. It's like for wrestling because like
okay,
like
wrestling is more
if you
yeah.
look yeah, if you look around like non like Manhasset, like for some reason Manhasset is just like Manhasset, like Great Neck, like that whole area, all of Nassau County basically, just like all white. But like once you start going into like different like more diverse area, it's like mostly minorities that are just like doing wrestling, right? And like that's what I'm like trying to get into your other point about like the high society shit, because like I feel like I feel like even though it's not really true anymore, wrestling is just wrestling is just kind of like one of those like quote unquote like working class sports, like for the tough kids that can like take a beating, and like the people like the parents aren't too paranoid about like them coming back with like a cauliflower ear or like a fucking broken wrist because somebody slammed them too hard on the ground, you know what I mean? Whereas
Right.
like with crew and like tennis, golf, like those sports, like those are just like, you know, these are some pasty ass kids. I'm not gonna lie, that just like bruise very easily, but they have great endurance, not that much strength, and very good hand-eye coordination. Less so with crew, but more with like hand-eye coordination for like the other two. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like very, very like go on, Peter, like like you won't get hurt today, honey. It's like that's like it makes sense because like football, not for everybody. Like not everybody can take who was that guy? Gavin. Remember that 6'7" giant that played
Yeah.
football for like Harvard? He plays football for Harvard. Can you imagine being like a PC boy just like playing playing football and you have to guard against him?
He'd beat the shit out. He'd fucking pummel you.
Exactly, but like the difference is that, like the highbrow society, they're used to, I think, getting psychologically tormented as a form of punishment, whereas like, like more
Okay.
tougher, like well-adjusted people and like the working class, they're used to getting the shit beaten out of them. So like, you know, those people can like they can fucking square up against that giant and take a hit. And like
Right.
that's the point of the game, and like whereas like I feel like those trust fund kids would just be like, oh, I'm scared.
So you think the stigma is still like pretty strong, at least with rowing?
I think the stigma will always be there just because even though it's kind of unspoken now, like it will always be there because it's just a less injury prone sport, and high class people like less injury prone sports.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I think it's just like a less injury prone sport. Like
Yeah.
the
The
yeah, because like
wealthy people, like, yeah. Well, I didn't hear the class of people you said liked the sport. Sorry.
no problem. But yeah, it's just like I think that's it. And about like my experience, like I felt like other than like you, Jack, like Ethan, and like I forgot who else was part of our fucking like little butt gang. Like we just kind of like did our own thing, pissed off the coaches, and then like we basically spat in the face of high society, and then we just did our own thing. I feel
Well,
like
I
because
don't
like
know. I just think we had fun with it, and I know I did it because I was pretty good.
yeah, you were good.
For like my age and like my weight and shit. I was like,
Hmm.
was a sophomore who had broken 7 halfway through his freshman year.
Hmm.
I was like, fuck yeah! I was in like the perfect spot. Um, was it Panzik coached me to have my first, was it 2 2Ks under 7 in a row. It was a 2 by
Oh
2K under
yeah,
7.
that's good. Holy shit,
Shit,
yeah.
dude. It was sick. Um, but what do you think you got out of rowing?
Oh, I mean, what I got out of it was a ton of positives. Like, I think it it's it's a really fucking tough sport, just like by itself, just erging.
Mhm.
Like the erg, there's a reason why every top athlete ergs, even though it's like, you know, even though their discipline is, something completely different. And it's because it's a really fucking tough thing to
Workout.
do.
Yeah.
And a lot of gyms these days now have ergs, and I always see people using it wrong.
I agree. That's one of the things that I see a lot. That's one of the things that I got out of it too. It's just fucking seeing everybody else fuck up. It's just. I remember when I lived in Dallas, we would do it in this CrossFitting gym. And
Mhm.
CrossFitters use an erg so much differently than a rower uses an erg. They like pull it up to their chin, like fucking idiots. Come at me, CrossFitters, dude. I'm
Oh,
for it. I'm for it.
dude, you're farming views out here right now.
Yo,
Like the moment this gets like clipped and sent into the CrossFit circles, you're gonna get like 1,000 views and also like 1,000 comments like, "Yo, what the fuck did you say?"
bro, y'all look so dumb doing that shit. For sure. You guys need to correct your erging strategy. Like your erging it needs to be better because it's just so far from effective form. How are you going to get meters? How are you going to do effective workouts if you're not getting full send? How like so it's like explaining how to use a fucking like it's like explaining you can give a monkey like a hammer, right?
Yes.
It's not going to understand everything as to why the hammer can get a nail into wood, but it
Hmm.
could beat the shit out of a nail and put it in the wood, right?
Yes. Yes.
You can use it, or you could use it right, is my point. Like, and when you don't use it right, you look like a monkey. Come
I
at me,
totally fucking
CrossFitters.
agree with it.
Come at me, CrossFitters. I don't.
I totally agree with that, dude. Like some people, like I'm sure I probably look like them my first day erging, you know, but I have to admit the process I feel like of learning how to erg without a rowing club, it's like almost fucking impossible.
Yeah, it
like,
is. But it's like, they're like, I feel like at least like trainers and shit should be able to like inform themselves on what like the correct forms are for like working. And I guess that the people who are more familiar with like how muscle movements like contract and like use different muscles in
yeah,
like the best ways. So I guess they could formulate different techniques on how to use it, but you look like monkeys.
I totally agree.
You look like monkeys. You could be a scientist who made the perfect algorithm for how to use an erg. And it's a full body workout. You just gotta pull it right up right up beneath your fucking nose. You look like a monkey. People who go if you do underarm rowing, you look like a monkey.
Oh man.
All right, I'm done calling people monkeys, I think.
I mean, hey, you always need a bit of that, you know. But like, yeah, I totally agree with the monkey point. I just think that like a lot of people they just kind of see like, oh, like rope, like I guess I'll just pull it, and like they're like
Yeah.
clocking in like a 12-minute erg, like
Mm-hmm.
oh, like a, like
It's like what are you doing? A steady state, or are you doing like a piece? Like because the other thing is ergs have so much potential to create such a good workout for you. It's like how like the Google like engineers put out like a document like on how to actually use Google because there's like
yeah,
a ton of different other functions that people just don't use.
yeah.
And it's I guess it's the same thing as what I was trying to compare it to. Thoughts?
I definitely agree. It's like I think a feature that I think almost nobody knows about unless they've actually like played with an erg is the go fish function.
The fish game. Dude, that game
The
is
fish,
fun.
it's really fun. It's like it's such a fun way to just like fuck around in like either a CrossFit box or like an actual rowing sesh. It's so much fun, bro. I always
So much fun.
if who was the really like kind of short jacked coach Coach Mayer.
There, yeah.
Coach Mayer, if you're listening to this, my challenge still stands. I challenge you to a fish game contest.
Bro, he was so jacked. He would win every time. What was he? Like, dude, I remember. This is why I fucking hated that team. One day, we were at an erging contest at some fucking school, and I asked Ethan to cox me. You know who came
Mm-hmm.
up? My dad was shouting at me from like behind the stage, and Mare was shouting at me in my other ear. And I told
Mm-hmm.
Ethan, I want a low key kind of approach to it. I want you to be like, all right, emphasis. Like I wanted him to be like calm but like assertive.
Mm-hmm.
And all I was getting was aggression out of these 2 points, and I like it's part of and Mayor made me apologize. Was it no Coach
Ty.
Ty
Coach.
Ty
Yeah.
made me apologize.
Oh wait. Yo, that was like the teacher one. He was like a physics teacher, right?
Ty
I yeah, Ty. Or wait, what was he the guy that was like the fucked eyes? He just looked high all the time.
Ty looks kind of high all the time. I mean, he was from the University of Oregon. I don't
Oh
know if
yeah,
you
that
knew that.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't know. And then there was Coach Tom.
Oh, that's Tom, that physics guy.
Tom, yeah.
Complete fucking
He
idiot.
he was a teacher. Yeah, I don't know if he was any good at the sport. He had like some pictures from. He was a total like Long Island like kid that grew up. That's what it like
Yeah,
looked like.
that's what they grow up to be. Like he was just like I don't know what, but to all the audience members that don't know this guy, like you could talk to him, he could say something, and you're just like, damn, like you sound fucking stupid. That's just how he sounded like. You sound fucking stupid.
I don't remember that. I remember him being a good coach, though. Well, like, cool. I remember because
He was.
I went through so much shit at Manhasset, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I went through just for using the C word. Just, just for using the C word. When it was an apt, I feel.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that.
You know why you remember it is because I said it was an apt kind of method of describing them. because you agree with me.
I 100% agree. That jogged some deep memories of Manhattan.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? I remember. Oh my god, yeah, I remember that shit.
I remember.
I don't know.
I made the first post. I made my Finsta because my ex made her Finsta to post a hate post about me. Like when I had like asked her to not be a bitch about driving me home because our parents had kind of all arranged for us to kind of like do this and I don't need to know about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I didn't like her after we broke up.
Yeah.
I really didn't. And
Yeah.
I don't know. And then so I saw that she made the post. You know how I saw that? It's because I knew everybody was acting different about me.
Oh, really?
Everybody around was moving differently, talking differently. Michael wouldn't look at me. You know Mike? Remember?
Wait, little Pee-wee Huey?
Yeah.
Damn, what? Even him?
He wouldn't look at me, dude. And I was like, I had to corner him and I was like, dude, what the fuck's going on? And he was like, I don't want to show you. And then he like showed me a screenshot of the post and like tried to like white out the Instagram name.
Yeah.
And it was like just obvious. And it's like I called her rude to her face. Like I brought up a problem that I had with her to her face. And what she did was go on Instagram and bitch about it and make everybody stop talking to me for some reason.
Oh, dude, yeah. I must have forgotten about that part. Like, I feel like we definitely like talked about this in depth when it happened. But shit, yeah, fuck that bitch. I know
Dude.
her.
And then the other one, I don't know how I got in so much shit. I just know I did.
I mean, it's just like I feel like Manhasset really the reason why I don't know if you view it the same way as I do, but there's a shit ton of clicks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why there's so many clicks is because I feel like just Manhasset just strips down people with individuality and just tells them to fall in line. That's just how it is.
Right.
You know, it's just because once you're seeing kind of going out of the file and like kind of interacting with more than like your given clique or your given role, like you're either sorority, like future sorority trust fund girl, or you're theater edgy like goth emo chick with big tits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sans the big
I know
tits
who
part.
you're talking about. Yeah, I know exactly. She was a big girl. Like, not like why. She was just like kind of a huge person.
Yeah.
Like, like what was she, like 5'9"? She was kind of like my mom, but taller. She was
We're talking about
intimidating.
the X or which
No,
one?
not Judy. I'll name drop her.
Bet.
Fuck
Wait,
her.
which one is this?
Who's
Dude,
Sam?
yeah.
I didn't date anybody named Sam.
Wait, what?
Who the fuck's Sam?
I didn't say Sam. Wait.
What did you say? You said
No,
somebody's the big tits part.
I mean, I was just saying in general, like emo, goth, big
Yeah.
titties. Yeah. But you know what I mean, right? Like what I'm
Yeah,
saying
I
is.
know. I have a specific girl in mind that I remember from Manhasset that just fits your description perfectly. It was amazing.
It must be subconscious.
No, there was this like fucking like enormous woman who I thought she was big
Bob
in
cut?
my. No, it wasn't
Short
Mary.
hair.
No. It was like long
No.
hair. It was like goth, dude. She was goth. She had like, I don't know.
Was
It's
she a
not
twin?
important. I don't know, dude. I just remember she was a very like huge person. Like she was tall and she was like filled out and she.
Anyways.
No, that was filled out could mean she was curvy, dude. It was not a
No,
problem.
no. I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm just saying like this is derailing the entire podcast. What the fuck were we even
What are you
talking
talking
about?
about? This is the whole podcast.
Getting
This is
derailed.
the
Oh, wait.
whole thing. We're having a conversation
Yeah, I
about
was like,
big titty goth girls. That's the dream.
I feel. I was like, the reason I'm saying that was like, I had another point, but now I fucking forgot. It's like, on top
It
of,
was
like,
it was about how like clicky and Hassel was, and I definitely agree. If you're ever in a toxic situation where you call someone the C word and everybody around you really doesn't like it, you should stand firm in your belief, but also say sorry in person so that everybody doesn't hate you forever, because it's really hard to exist without people to talk to. And I know that from experience because I was right in calling those people those names. They were what I called them.
mhm.
And I'm not going to say it again because apparently that could influence people's impressions of me for having that opinion of another person. I was 15 and I was in a situation where people were acting irrationally. I was acting irrationally. We were kids who were horny and stupid.
Young, dumb,
we
full of cum.
like literally we just all I did was call them the C word, and have no idea how that spiraled into everyone hating me. It did. If you ever call, and you don't call people the C word, but stand firm that you can be right in doing it. All right.
Yeah, I think you like I remember that happening, and like I got your back 100%. Fuck that bitch. Fuck 12.
And then I had gotten the shit with the blonde. You remember?
Wait.
She like told me to go back to the land where they like fuck their sisters.
Wait, you dated her or wait,
No.
what? Oh, wait.
You know what I'm talking about.
Why is this? Yeah, why does this sound so familiar? Like this is
I
like
can
left my
say
mind.
her first name was Kate.
Oh, yo, yo, she was a cunt too.
Fuck that bitch, dude. Yeah.
All right, yo, real shit. Her sister, like, she was pretty sweet. Like, she's a very sweet person. But like, I'm not cheating on you. I'm talking about people from my high school. Anyways, um, she's a very sweet person, right? Other day, like I think, like a couple of couple of months ago, she requested to follow me, and then I was like, oh, okay. And then at the same time, because I was following Kate, right? I got blocked by her. Isn't that
Why?
weird? Like, I don't know. Like, I literally never talked to her since crew. It's been like 4 years. Her sister follows me out of the blue, and then Kate blocks me. Isn't that like, I don't know. Like, I just brought this up because, like, just I feel like she's the type of person, just to illustrate her personality type. She is the one like type to just stalk through her sister's like follow and follower list to see who she doesn't fuck with and just like block them. Like that's the only explanation,
Oh, that's so weird. I
right?
don't know. Manhasset was hard for my family. Like my brother
Oh,
didn't. My brother didn't like it either. He was. It got pretty bad for him because he started. I remember he got like yelled at by some girls in class So it was in a situation where you can't defend yourself, and I think that's really interesting. As somebody who is like my brother, he was about 5'10", 5'11", nearly 200 pounds. It's a big fucking guy, right? That's a full grown man, right? Sitting in a high school classroom, right? And some girls start antagonizing him. And what is he supposed to do? He can either stand up and he can shout at them and be like, what the fuck are you talking to me like that? Right? Like, and that's the quick, but that is seen as an act of aggression, which I think is fucking wild. But instead what he chose to do was like, he kind of bottled that shit up and was like, instead of like dealing with his problems as people should, which is, like I said, you should fucking stand up and say, why are you doing what you're doing to me right now? Like, you should be that blunt in addressing your problems. And I don't know, what do you think about that kind of like pressure on people who don't fit in Manhasset, especially because it was people like me. It was people like my brother, people who were fucking like big goddamn kids who really just found it difficult to express themselves because it's difficult to not convey aggression as somebody who is large. And you're pretty tall. Have you had any encounters with that?
See, like the thing with me, right? I have quite literally like the Asian card. And let me explain, right? So I feel like every race has just like, you know, like a some sort of superpower, right? White people really good at like just being like influential, you know what I mean?
You know, like lying and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like lying and shit, like doing coke. Like, you know what I mean?
Wolf of Wall Street type shit. I get it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Like black people, I feel like I don't want to get pitchforked here, but I think objectively speaking, like they are the foundation of like all music. Like you cannot disagree with that. I'm literally taking a music class right now. They are the foundation of all music, and that's why they're so welcome in the industry, right? Asian people, what do we got? Why do you think there's a Chinatown in every face of this fucking planet? It's because we're acceptable, we're agreeable. Aha, you know, like when people see Asian people, right? They're just like, they're never gonna be like, oh my god, like he's either trying to fuck me over or he's either trying to like, shoot me dead, right? That's like up until like coronavirus, right? but like for the most part, if you're Asian, you can like look at. There's a famous guy called David Cho. He just recently did a Joe Rogan podcast. Highly recommended it. Like he hitchhiked all over the world when like hitchhiking was considered like unlikely and like dangerous because like nobody will fucking pick you up. Literally the entire world. And like there's never a place where like Asian people will just be like, you know, like, oh, like we consider you dangerous. Like please get away from me. You know what I mean? So like that's why I felt like I felt like I never really fit in, but like at the same time I felt like people are just like, it's the Asian dude, like do your dance. You know what I mean? Like I think that's what got me by. And also like I mean I had the you know like the five like group, like the Ethan, Troy, everybody, like my little library like fuck group. I mean, we were all pretty alternative. We were like on some Eric Andre shit when everybody else was like, you know, like their fucking Manhasset lacrosse, the bow tie. You remember how you had to wear the fucking tie before a game? You know, like it's fucking tight up on their neck, like you're shouldn't be doing that, like you know that kind of shit.
I hated that, dude. I don't know, dude. It was just I don't know. I absolutely fucking love I remember that place like a bad acid trip. I basically remember it like a nightmare. With like the
Yeah,
school.
yeah. I mean, it's just such a bubble, and if you have some form of form of common sense from the outside world, it's jarring. And like, luckily, like I was able to go in there around like sixth grade, elementary, middle school. So I had a balance of common sense from the outside world, and to know that like Manhasset's kind of like a fucked up place, and enough enough time where everybody's like, ah, it's the Asian dude, what's good?
I mean, yeah, it's like I don't know. I grew up, and I don't know if you knew this, but I spent 4 years in Singapore,
Oh shit.
right? And I went
Hmm.
to an American school, so basically it was a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds, mainly Asian, like a bunch of expats, because Singapore is really like if you think in America as a nation of immigrants, I feel like Singapore is more so because they take like a ton of migrant workers
I
and
feel,
it
I
like
feel.
supplies their entire workforce. It's like their entire it like low income or workforce. I don't know. It's kind of wild,
Hmm.
but so I got to grow up with a lot of people from like a lot of different backgrounds and like fucking. I remember I accidentally saw an uncircumcised dick when I was a kid once because for some reason we were taking baths.
Hmm.
I don't remember why. I don't know. First through fourth grade, we were taking
Penis
baths.
inspection. Penis
Yeah,
inspection day.
I guess. So I saw some kids. It was my friend, and I guess we were in appropriate settings, but scarred it in my mind. Now I know what an uncircumcised penis looks like. And I was like, nice.
I mean,
And
shit.
so and that person and that guy's that I saw. So I saw Filipino penis, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's the main point that I would kind of brought this up. And so it's like I really haven't been. I don't think Manhasset jarred me really in the way that like you think it would. You know, I
Hmm.
don't think like I don't think I was thrown off by like the non-balance of like race. I think it really was the clickiness. I think I hadn't really experienced that before because um, sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. In ninth, it was ninth grade really where I think cliques really start forming for high school.
Hmm.
Like your final
Hmm.
bonds for high school kind of start forming. I think at the end of your freshman year. Um,
Definitely.
and so it's like I came in as a sophomore after everybody in my class was
Hmm.
already friends and had spent an entire summer with everybody else, and I had just come from Florida
Hmm.
because that's where I was spending the summer because my
Hmm.
parents had sold our house and we needed to
Hmm.
live in Florida.
Hmm. I mean, shit, man. Like, I'm just saying that if you were 1 year older, like, you would have fit in fantastic with me and everybody else.
You know? I mean, I don't know.
It's just
I, don't
like,
know. I just think,
I'm for.
yeah,
What's up?
you're
No,
for what?
it's just like, unfortunately, I don't know what it is like in like, the grade below, but just like looking around, like, I don't know, there's a lot of like limp sausages down there.
All right, buddy. I think we're gonna have to wrap it up here. I wanna
All right,
thank you
man.
for coming on. Um, one last question. You got anything fun going on
Fun going on later. Well, I have to take
later in the
my
week?
dog.
Yeah.
Well, right immediately, I gotta take my dog out on a walk on her
Oh,
midnight pee.
sick.
What's up, bitch? She's a little bit grumpy at me right now.
Oh,
But
nice.
she's yeah. Other than that, like I got some assignments coming up. Like the boring shit. In my political science class, I roast the same guy for every discussion week. I picked the exact same guy because he always has a conflicting viewpoint, so you don't have to do additional reading, and I respond to him like the most aggressive way possible. Like, you're an idiot. Like, how could you think that, you fucking piece of shit?
I did that for my creative writing class, kind of. I was like, was it because we were grading each other's poetry, and I was like, bro, this part of this first line, or this third line of the poem, shits on the rest of the poem. The rest of the poem is great, but this third line, I cannot express to you how much I disliked it. I wrote an entire paragraph about how it didn't fit and it shouldn't be there. And then I wrote another paragraph congratulating him on writing a beautiful poem because I felt bad, and because the poem was really good, but I had a lot of emotions about that third line.
That's the same way with me, except I don't congratulate them at the end. I usually insult their intelligence for the whole way through. I'm like, how could you say that? Like, you clearly did not do the reading well enough.
Wrong interpretation.